Hello and welcome. We're Bob and Penny Lord. In times of crisis, the Lord gives us saints and other powerful men and women in the church, but we believe these powerful people, if they knew in advance the role the Lord had for them in salvation history, might have been too afraid to begin.
St. John of the Cross, saint and poet. As we turn the pages of his life, you will discover a powerful woman in this powerful man's life. God was to use St. Teresa to change the course of his life. At times she led him, at other times she leaned on him. He was free to recognize, love, and follow this controversial woman who, with him, would unseat and ruffle the feathers of the church and the world of 16th century Spain.
John was born of peasants in Fonteveros, where the land and the weather can be an enemy. John, his two brothers, and widowed mother were colder and hungrier than most. The little family had to move to Medina del Campo, or starve. There, John, the youngest son, found a job in a hospital, which brought some money into the house and still enabled him to go to school. All the deprivation he had known did not affect his will or his mind. Right from the beginning, he showed himself to be enthusiastic and brilliant.
God began molding John through the Society of Jesus, a new company of men founded by Ignatius Loyola, who was a Spaniard and officer. Although this would influence him, St. John was being called to be a new saint, one who would possibly touch lives that Loyola could not. God would use this training, but fashion him uniquely through and for himself.
In St. John's day, with young men either joining a religious order or adventuring to far-off lands and conquests, it was not surprising for a gifted young man like John to enter a religious house.
The Carmelite order appealed to him. The tradition of those who'd gone before him strengthened him. It offered him the security he needed, that it was the one God wanted him to embrace.
Months passed quickly for John as a novice. He loved it all, the solemn offices, the Bible, the Holy Mass. But like novices before and after him, he was always being tested. John obeyed. This would be a stronghold for him in later years when that yes would be so painful.
After 6 months of the novitiate, he professed his final vows, donned the scapular of the fully confirmed Carmelite, and left to study Latin and philosophy in Salamanca.